So, Kyle, how do you go about writing a song? Like, what inspires you? You said death, and
sobered me right up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Death.
Something in the water taught me how to crawl. Something in the water taught me how to fall.
Hey, y'all doing? Welcome back to Something in the Water podcast, and we're here with Uncle Dave Griffin, and I'm Sean Clark, and we got Justin Mercer back here with Caution Light Media, and our Kyle.
He is our Kyle.
He is our
That's
Kyle.
perfect.
Our guest, our buddy Kyle Keller.
Yes.
Yeah, singer-songwriter.
Good to
to have
be
you,
here,
man.
Hell yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
Kyle.
Our Kyle.
Archives.
Well, talking about music, and I think we've had our share of musicians and songwriters on here because that's kind of who we hang out with.
Yep.
And Kyle, you're a good one.
I appreciate it. That's high praise coming from you.
Yeah.
So you've been in town recording today?
I have, yeah. So
Right on.
we actually got the finishing touches up on the album, so there's that.
Cool.
Added some harmonica, and it's going to be real simple. It's going to be acoustic guitar, harmonica, and singing, and some piano, and that's it.
And you're recording with Justin
Yes, yeah.
right here,
This guy right
Justin Mercer.
You got a date you want to release this, or are you just going to...
Not really an exact date, no.
When it gets ready?
I think it's going to be a little bit before I do some physical copies and stuff. We're going to do it digitally first and just throw it out there, just so I have something for people to go look up.
Right on. Cool, man. And you're also doing the fossil tours and stuff
Yes.
like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get about Wild Kyle?
Wild Kyle.
On
I have a
YouTube?
YouTube channel, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we make YouTube videos
Where
about fossil
your
hunting.
fossil tours go on? Where do
Mostly Gainesville,
Gainesville,
area.
Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
So right around there.
That's all that inlets and saltwater flats and stuff. Or that's a little further. That's a little further west.
Yeah, we're Central Florida, right in the middle of the
Florida,
state.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of springs and all around there.
A lot.
Though,
Yeah.
aren't there?
We go to the Santa Fe River a lot, do scuba diving around there
Yeah.
and stuff. It's beautiful. It's an amazing area.
What kind of fossils do y'all usually find around there?
Well, my favorite type of fossils to find are the Ice Age fossils, like mammoths and
kidding.
mastodons and stuff like that. So me and my buddy Chris went out recently and we found a spectacled bear molar, which are now extinct in Florida, and a dire wolf premolar. So
Wow.
dire wolves were also around in Florida as well. So imagine a
Cool.
big wolf, not quite as big as Game of Thrones wolves, but
Right.
Still
Dang,
giant.
prehistoric. Speckled bear?
Spectacled bear.
Spectacled.
Yeah. So they're still around in parts of the world and stuff, just not in Florida anymore.
What do you have, like?
Yeah, they've got like
Glasses.
the brown kind
Okay.
of whatever
Kinda
around
like a
there.
coon.
Yeah, they look similar like
man.
that. A big giant
The great
scary raccoon.
The great spectacled bear.
Yes.
That's awesome. I didn't realize all
There's
that,
a lot of stuff to be found in Florida. It's
that
kind of
stuff
wild.
was down there. Because I guess the Ice Age, it was cold everywhere.
Well, yeah, camels were native to Florida. And,
Really?
Yeah, camels and giant ground sloths and all kinds of weird, funky animals.
Lots happened since then.
And then
Oh,
shark
that's
teeth
great.
right in Gainesville too.
Shark's
So
teeth,
and that's in the middle of the state.
In the middle, yeah.
You're talking millions of years ago. Florida was
Yeah.
underwater, and
right, yeah.
sharks shed their teeth, and
I mean,
there you are.
It's, the continental shelf, I think it extended from the Atlantic Ocean coast as it is now. It extended pretty good ways in.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, all of this was, Ware County was probably underwater at that time too.
Yeah, it was.
Probably how the
absolutely.
swamp, Okefenokee Swamp.
I think that's part of it. There's
part of
definitely
it.
some
when the,
sort of like weird current that formed the low spot there or
yeah,
something.
when the
you know?
water receded and everything, there was a few basins left, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm always keeping my eyes open when I'm driving around and stuff, like looking at little dips and stuff in the land, and like
Yeah.
trying to like piece it together in my head. Like there was a creek there at one time, or you see the sinkholes in Florida all the time. You can tell where a sinkhole was and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of wild.
Cool, man. You're originally from Nashville.
Nashville, Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Heck yeah.
The opposite of Nashville, Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing like it.
There was a
You can't get paid to play there either, huh?
No, not really.
wasn't there a nightclub there, Cadillac?
Cadillac Ranch used to be
Cadillac
there. Yeah.
Ranch.
I played there one
Did
or
you?
two times. Yeah,
That sounds like a good place.
it's real interesting. Nashville's a cool little spot.
And you had T-shirts that were like the
Yeah, I had
The
the T-shirts
town, something like
modeled
when-
after the Welcome to Nashville
Welcome
sign. Yeah, so it's because it looks really good. It's a cool
That's cool.
design. You know,
I
they
do
look
like
good. They
that
have little
shirt.
dogwood flowers on it
Yeah.
and stuff, and it looked really nice. But yeah, I had the shirts made out of it, and everybody thinks it's a gravestone. Everyone that sees it, like, this is the gravestone. I was like, no, but that's
whatever you want.
that's
to
cool
be, man.
too. So that's pretty funny.
Tell us a little bit about your history as far as music goes, like kind of what prompted you to get going in this.
Yeah. To be honest, like I started out wanting to be a punk rocker.
Oh, yeah?
So, I was like listening to a bunch of Social Distortion and
How old were
stuff
you
like
when
that.
that
I was
happened?
16.
16?
Yeah, I was 16
Kind of a
at the
late
time.
bloomer for,
Yeah, I
compared
was.
to some people.
Absolutely.
you know.
I wish I had started earlier,
Yeah.
you know, but it's comes when it comes, I guess. And
Yeah,
I wanted to be a punk rocker, and all my friends played guitar, and they were punk rockers, and I thought it was cool. And you know, so I had my friends teach me some guitar stuff, and I ended up borrowing a guitar from my friend, and you know, I kind of did that thing for a while. Wrote some horrible songs,
Yeah.
some really bad songs about very vulgar stuff, you know, stuff I don't want to talk about.
Punk
So,
songs.
yeah, that kind of thing. And it didn't really take me long to kind of start moving away from that stuff. And I started kind of listening to some folk music and stuff. And actually, a lot of the punk rockers I was listening to, like in the big bands like Social Distortion and like Bad Religion and all this, were going off and doing side projects of like basically like country folk music, you know, and it was really cool. And that stuff kind of inspired me to get into that aspect of things.
Yeah, I started off with the heavier stuff
Yeah.
Garage rock and stuff, and then you're like, where'd this come from? And then you keep kind of going back on the roots of that and the roots of that, and then
Yeah,
you
you-
always end up to folk music.
It does, yeah. Folk music is where it started, man. You end up there, and I found people like Bob Dylan and Neil Young, and those were like two of the big ones. And then shortly after that, it was Townes Van Zandt, and
Oh, my
Townes
God.
Van Zandt changed my life forever. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Folk music was the original punk, I guess.
honestly, you get
The
folks like
protest songs and
oh yeah,
everything.
you get Pete Seeger and
Woody
Woody Guthrie.
Guthrie.
and-
Woody Guthrie. He was the original OG punk. Come on the farm and play his protest songs and get the crap beat out of him. Go to the next farm and do the same thing.
Yeah, folk musicians are still doing that today. You know? Going around and playing songs about politics and getting beat up.
So, what's your? I know what your genre is, but I just from your own words, what are you shooting for?
I would call it country folk, Americana. You know, Americana's a little bit of everything, and that's a widely used term and stuff. And I kind of want folks to just call it whatever they want, you know.
Yeah.
But for
Not to
me
label it,
personally,
yeah.
like I feel like I lean more on the folk side of things, definitely.
And what kind of stuff do you like to write about?
I read about a little bit of everything. I feel like I wrote a really long time. I wrote a lot about just kind of the general heartbreak and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I haven't written a song about that in a long time. I've been kind of
must
moving
be
on.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Going pretty good.
Well, yeah, I've been in a relationship for 4 years now, and
Yeah.
you can't. It's hard to
Yeah,
write
it's hard
songs
to
like
write
that.
heartbreak,
When
you
you,
know.
yeah, when your heart's not being broken.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been kind of taking a turn lately, and just. I'm way too young to be writing about this, but I've been writing a lot about death because it's an interesting topic in my mind and
of
that kind
course,
of thing. So it's something I tend to think about a lot, and it's a mysterious thing. So I write about that, and I write a little bit about social issues and stuff like that. I've been inspired by like Pete Seeger, Woody Guthrie, so I do a little bit of that as well. And I've kind of been taking definitely a turn towards that style more than anything, like, and being less afraid to kind of speak my mind about certain things
Right.
and stuff like that, which has been nice.
You got a song?
And it's proven to be like good. You know, people are responding well to it. So
Awesome.
it's pretty cool.
Well,
We
play
need
us
that
a
out there.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I'll-
to play us a song?
Yeah, I'll do some. Let's do one about death.
All right.
Oh, death.
So it's called Too Many Ways. there's too damn many ways to tell the time. Took off my wristwatch, the sun's still in the sky, and the seasons still are changing, and the river is running dry. Our hair's turning gray, our friends and family die. Oh, there's too damn many ways to tell the time. Well, flowers die and other flowers grow. Rain comes pouring down, but it still hurts to know that soon the time will come when it's time for me to go. I'll leave behind a song, head into the unknown. Well, flowers die and other flowers grow. Well, I'm one more footstep closer to the grave. I got no more time to kill, and one more bill I can't pay, and the tall oak tree that's growing will rot away someday. It'll feed the earth, may my body do the same. Oh, I'm one more footstep closer to the grave. Well, there's too damn many ways to tell the time. Took off my wristwatch, the sun's still in the sky, and the seasons still are changing, and the river is running dry. Our hair's turning gray, friends and family die. Oh, there's too damn many ways to tell the time. Well, there's too damn many ways to tell the time.
All right.
Yes, sir. That's good.
They're kind of hitting close to home there now. I mean, I'm getting on up there myself, you know, but that's beautiful.
I appreciate it.
That was very nice.
Is that going to be on the new album?
It's not going to be on this one. No, it'll be on the next one.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's super new.
This one's super new, yeah.
Cool.
So this one's it'll be there, but not yet.
Where
So
can
it's a little
everybody?
preview.
Where can everybody find your music?
So it's on Spotify. It's on all streaming platforms. So I did an EP with Justin a while back. So
Yeah, that was
there's
a
a
good one,
5-track
too.
EP on there that we did. And, that's on, every streaming platform and all that. And then as far as a lot more new stuff, there's plenty of new stuff just on like YouTube and stuff. You can search Kyle Keller music and a bunch of videos will pop up, and there's just a bunch of stuff I've been doing lately, and the sound has been changing over the years and stuff, so it's a little bit more accurate to what I've got going on now.
Awesome.
Definitely.
I like the finger picking you was doing on
Yeah,
there.
appreciate
I used to do a lot of that, and I was pretty daggum good at it back when I was in my 20s. But it is, if you don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing, because it's just, I got away from it, and it's just not something I really go to anymore. But so when you moved from punk to folk and everything, did you have did that technique, finger picking, because it's different,
Right,
not
yeah.
a lot of people can do it, did
Yeah.
you just naturally grab hold of it, or did somebody inspire you like Towns?
Yeah, I was definitely listening to like Towns Van Zandt and John Prine and stuff like that. That's what got me into the finger picking. And for a long time, I still used a pick and stuff, and I wasn't real comfortable with the finger picking. But here in the last like 2 years or so, I've basically stopped using picks completely because I'm real sloppy with them. So I feel a lot more comfortable doing this, you know. And even if I'm strumming, you know, I'd rather just strum with my pointer finger.
Yeah,
or
I
something.
do that too. It just feels better to me.
Yeah, and then you have to be afraid about dropping it, and then you know what do you do then? Yeah. So it's a nice thing to do. It feels more comfortable for me and sounds pretty. So
What kind of guitar you got
it's
there?
a Martin guitar.
Martin.
It's the DRS1 Dreadnought Road Series.
Yeah.
It's a beauty. I've had it since 2014, so it's been with me for a while, and I love it. I love the way it sounds. It's a beautiful guitar.
That's pretty. Real woodsy, earthy sound.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. It's deep. Dreadnought.
Kyle used to do a bunch of busking over there in Jekyll and stuff.
I did.
Oh, did
you know that?
I did not know that.
I did.
Where
that.
at? Just
I made some money.
I would go right in
the
front
beach,
of. I would go right in front of the Fernandina Fantastic Fudge right there on the corner.
Oh, in
know what I'm talking about?
Fernandina.
Yeah.
Fernandina. Okay, I was
Yeah.
thinking Jekyll for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done Jekyll. No.
That's great. Downtown, the old street right down.
Absolutely.
Downtown Fernandina.
It was fun. I would go in the summer.
Is that when you were in Nashville, Georgia? And
Yeah, I was living there, and I would just drive there on the weekends and stuff like that, and sleep in my van and
yeah.
do a little bit of busking. It was great.
Probably pretty good living.
I did.
mean, yeah.
I did well. I really did. I did good. You had to have a permit and stuff to do
You
it.
did?
So
Okay, yeah.
the permit was $300
$300.
Yeah.
That's what
for for a year.
for a year. Yeah.
Okay.
And you make it back in the first
heck yeah,
weekend,
you can
anyways.
Make that
so.
back quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so-
would be scared to spend the $300 to like when you're busking already.
No, you're
you
gonna
know?
make it back.
You know.
You make it back
Yes,
easy there.
I assume that there's seasons. It's all seasonal down there. You know, your best time was probably spring through November. Heck, I mean, climate is so
in the
good
winter I did
down
great. The summer, I do really good in the summer, but it was always
Yeah.
so hot. I didn't do it a whole lot, you know, because it was just ridiculously hot
Yeah.
out there. But man, there's a lot of people, and everybody's lining up to get ice cream at the fudge shop. So
I know
There
what
you
you're
go.
talking
you go
about.
play right there, and
Perfect.
you get a lot of a crowd, you know. So it was really nice.
Pretty cool.
I miss doing it.
Did you have to ever run anybody off your corner?
No, I never know. I think the fact that it was so expensive, it kept a lot of people out of there.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a whole lot of street performers because it was expensive to get a permit. But I had folks try to run me out.
Oh, yeah?
Like not people trying to perform, but like code enforcement folks and stuff like that. And they would be like saying I can't be there and stuff. But I had the rules printed out, so I'd bring the rules out and be like, well, here's where it says I can be here, and they'd be like, oh, you're good, and then let me keep playing. So that was pretty funny. They're always trying to give me hell for it. But
Should get it tattooed on.
yeah. Here's the rules.
Here's the rules.
I'm fine. And I had permission from the fudge shop. They didn't mind. They were like, yeah,
course,
this is
you-
fine.
Yeah, you're bringing
Probably
people over there.
Create business for them.
Yeah, I think that they thought it was cool. You know?
Were you amplified or?
No,
you
it was completely unamplified, and I was using a pick a lot then. I had to be
Right.
loud enough.
Get it out there.
Yeah, and I would just do a bunch of mostly covers and stuff, and some of my own stuff. I would sing a bunch of like Eagles and Bob Dylan and Neil Young and all that stuff, and do a bunch of my own songs and stuff. So it was really cool. I met a lot of really cool people, and it was really fun.
Good way to pick up gigs too, probably.
Yeah,
You know?
people were always telling me, hey, this place down the road does gigs, and this place down the road, and a lot of times I was making more money busking, and I didn't want to go play the gigs. So I was like, all right, I'm better off on the street, you know. So sometimes you make more doing that. I got $200 bills at different occasions. Yeah, that blew me away.
Awesome.
The fact that people would do that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that don't happen very often. When it does, it's
Yeah, you're like, wow.
like, now I know why I do this.
Yeah, even though to people like that,
It ain't about the money, folks. It ain't about the
That's
money.
right.
That reminded me of I was playing in Albany where we just played this past weekend at Harvest Moon, and I was playing a solo gig, and I had my drink right here, and I think it was a wedding that came in there after they were all drunk and whatever, dancing, and guy just put money right in my drink, like stuffed it, like he didn't even know it was a drink, you know, stuffed it in there. I was like, what, man? Pull it out, it's 100.
Perfect.
It's like, yeah, I'll get another drink, no problem.
I just still drank it.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this is great. Oh,
That was one of the few times I ever got 100 tip. But
it happens every once in a while. It does. You feel good.
Mhm.
He probably didn't know it was 100.
Yeah. Oops.
He didn't know it was a drink.
He got home later. He's like, "Where's my $100 bill?" Dang it. I figure to a lot of people like that, $100 bill is like what a $5 bill to me would be, you know?
Just throwing it around.
Yeah, here's $100, man. For me, it's like, oh, here's $5.
Have you ever been in a band? Have you always done solo thing?
I've definitely played with people and stuff here and there, and lately I've been playing with a lead guitarist for a while. His name's Austin Brockner, and we've been doing a lot together lately. But other than that, not a whole lot. Like I haven't had a whole setup really yet. I've played in bands. Like I play bass in a band right now called the Leaning Trees.
Cool.
So I do that, and that's super fun. But I'm kind of in the works of maybe trying to get something put together, and I want something real simple, like maybe not any percussion at all. You know, maybe stand-up bass and me and the lead guitarist and maybe a fiddle player or something, you know. This is some kind of, a folky arrangement. Pedal steel player would be amazing, something like that.
You're in Gainesville.
I'm in Gainesville, Florida, yeah.
It's a pretty good music town.
It is, actually. I was surprised when I got there because I kind of went there on a whim. I was like, I like Gainesville. I'm going to go to Gainesville. And it is, there's a lot of extremely talented singer-songwriters there. And it's been really cool making friends with all of them and doing shows and stuff and kind of finally getting to the point, I'm getting to a point where I'm actually making a little bit of a fan base there,
Awesome.
And it's really cool.
How long you been there?
3 years.
3
Yeah.
years, yeah.
So,
That's good.
I've been hosting an open mic there every Monday for about 2 years at this place called The Bull.
The Bull.
And that's a really cool thing to see going on. I've been having people come, from when I started hosting it till now and seeing them improve, and everybody's writing songs and doing their own thing, and it's really, really a cool thing to be a part of. It's a kind of a community now. We feel like a big family.
Cool, man.
It's really nice.
We've played over there a few times, but not enough to really meet everybody that's going, all the scene and everything.
It's big. It's definitely, there's a lot of people. We got to get you down there, man.
Yeah.
Heartwood Soundstage.
Heck yeah. I want to try that
It's
out.
a beautiful venue.
I got to go get a tooth pulled shortly. It's giving me some problems and everything. So I went to the local dentist and the cheap dentist here, and they said we can't pull that one because it's right under your sinuses, and if it leaves a hole, we won't have the services to be able to stitch the hole up. So you need to go to these guys, and I looked at their prices, and it was like, no. And so there's a dental college in Augusta. Then I found out there's a dental college in Gainesville.
Yeah.
And so I called them, and it's like a flat fee, one-time fee of like $180, as opposed to $2,000 or $3,000.
Oh my gosh!
And so I'm gonna be going down there soon.
Hey,
bring your guitar.
Yeah, bring your guitar. Let me know.
I might need somebody to drive me back.
Yeah, you're gonna be all doped up on that stuff.
I don't know, but I guess there's a chance. They say when they pull an upper tooth in the back like that, which is right underneath the sinus wall, there's a chance that the roots open up a hole, which have to be surgically stitched, because if not, there's a hole straight through.
That's wild.
I guess to your brain, and you'll be walking around whistling.
Talk about the brain freeze.
Yeah, but
yeah, you get a cold drink in there, and it goes up there, and you'll feel that.
One time you went to get some teeth work done at something for musicians in Athens.
Yeah, there was
like a traveling van or
Music
something?
Cares is the name of it's cool. A nonprofit
musicians need to know about this.
Yeah, Music Cares. Go online. You can find a simple application. You have to prove that you are a musician. In other words, you have to show them either newspaper clippings or CDs that you've recorded and so forth and so on. It's not hard at all. It's just, but it's kind of like a support group. It started out as a support group for musicians because a lot of musicians don't have the
money.
Safety net. They don't
money.
have tenure, long-time tenure with retirement and everything, or insurance. So health insurance especially, and it was they had a little like a mobile dental unit that would show up in certain places like Athens and Atlanta and wherever. And I went to that one time. It was pretty cool. It's free.
That was free.
No charge.
Oh, it's amazing.
No charge whatsoever.
Couldn't find them this time. They're on the other side of the country or something.
They out there somewhere. But it's a pretty neat thing. Music Cares. I think it's one word, Music Cares. And they do other things besides just dental work. I mean, bills to help you out on if you in a bad place.
Oh, really?
You know? I mean, they'll take a financial burden off of you if you're having a hard time paying your car payment or your house payment or something. You know, they just it's kind of a stopgap.
That's awesome.
Safety net for musicians.
I might go look that up.
Yeah.
I think
It's good that
Dylan
there's-
might have had something to do with that. I'm sure some of the big names really were behind that, you know, endorsing it or, maybe sitting on the board of directors when it was first formed or something. But
Right.
it's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
We
that's
need
awesome.
all the help we can get.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I've seen stuff like in Nashville and stuff like that too, or somewhere where something similar to that, where it's like a musicians guild, you know, they like all get together and they pitch in for health insurance for everybody or something, you know, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they may even offer like a group insurance, for musicians too. So it's sure enough a helping hand, that's for sure.
Yeah. Needed a lot. We don't make much.
I got smart and married somebody with insurance.
Good move.
Hey,
Yeah, good call. You just get grandfathered into it.
it was a
Right?
plus. So, how do you? Did we? I know we talked about the fossil stuff and Wild Kyle. Your channel is just Wild Kyle.
It
Wild
is.
Kyle,
Yeah, one word, Wild Kyle. Go on YouTube and type it in, and there it is.
and that's the only format for that is YouTube.
Yeah, just YouTube. Well, Instagram too, like the Wild Kyle on Instagram, and
Cool.
you know, so there's a bunch of pictures and stuff on there.
Yeah, I,
cool
I
stuff I found.
subscribe to the YouTube channel, so
Awesome. Much
every time it
appreciated.
pops up, I'm like, yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, I do a little everything on there. I do fossil hunting and gem and mineral hunting and
Scuba diving with
scuba diving
alligators.
with alligators and
I saw that one.
bottle hunting and stuff like that.
They're like, there's an alligator here a while ago, and now they're down there under a bridge, broken bottles. And
We had a buddy get bit on the foot down on the Peace River not too long ago.
By
Henry.
alligator?
Yeah, by alligator. Yeah, he was.
bad.
They're
scuba diving.
usually
It wasn't horrible. He had stitches and stuff, but he's good to go.
Didn't like latch on and
It like
death
yeah.
roll.
No, I don't. I think it did. I think he said it did. I wasn't there. I was there like 2 days before it happened on the same river scuba diving, and then
But typically they're harmless.
typically they're harmless. Yeah, typically they're not gonna mess with you.
Yeah.
And you know you gotta come to expect it's gonna happen at some point. Sometimes
Every now and
if you're
then
out
you'll
there.
run across
'Cause
one
you're-
that's pissed off
Yeah,
about something.
exactly.
There's an ornery gator out there.
Yeah,
so-
somewhere. He's having a bad
Damn,
day.
I'm hungry.
yeah.
And you're in their territory. You got to remember, you know. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
Get down there and step on one or kick one or
Well, yeah, you're diving low visibility too. You
Yeah.
can't see if you run into one. Yeah, you're gonna provoke it, and it's not the gator's fault. You know, it's,
I think the one I was watching. There's another guy, YouTube guy, and he does the river dives a lot. And what's that guy's name?
his name Jake. Is it Jake?
I think so.
The Almighty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you with him?
Yeah, we've met up with quite a few.
Yeah.
We're buddies, man. It's awesome.
That's
He was
cool.
that's who Henry was with when he got bit.
Wow. Because before I knew you were doing it, I was watching a few of his, and then I was like, wow, now Kyle's doing it. Oh, now he's doing it with him. I was like,
Yeah. So
pretty cool.
it's been cool. It's been cool. Jake's a super good dude, and he's at like I think he's at about 10 million subscribers on YouTube right
Wow,
now. It's
yeah.
madness.
he finds like all kind of guns and
Yeah.
bottles and bottles with things in them that people threw
Yeah.
in there. And
old phones and like cell phones that people lose and sunglasses.
He'll pull up anything. He'll just keep bringing it up. And
yeah, we go to the Santa Fe River sometimes and go look for that stuff after like a Memorial Day or something. You go load up, get yourself a couple new pairs of Costas and stuff, you know.
Now, is that where you do your tours, Santa Fe River?
We do some stuff there in Santa Fe, but we do a lot of scuba diving in there, and so the tours don't involve scuba diving, but
okay.
Yeah, so we do that and just for ourselves, you know. But
what kind of water is that?
It's normally really clear.
Is
Santa Fe,
it?
because there's so many springs running in, and if we haven't had a lot of rain, it's going to get really clear. But if we get a lot of rain, it'll get dark.
Right.
So it'll just take some time to clear up after that.
But the tours, you don't do that. You take them out to dig and stuff, right?
Yeah, mostly in creeks, like small creeks and stuff like that, where the water is like, knee deep at most or something like that.
Do you have to have permission or anything for?
So yeah, you
areas?
do if it's private property. So it just depends. Like for like state property and stuff like that, some places are off limits, but we also have a fossil permit. So we have a group permit too, which allows us to take groups out, stuff like that.
Cool.
And that's easy to get. It's like $5 a year from the Florida Museum of Natural History in Gainesville. You just send in a little form, and they'll send them $5, and they'll send you the thing back. And
That's cool.
your only responsibility is reporting your finds. So you have to report any vertebrate material, which is going to be like your mammoth, mastodon, stuff like that. But you don't have to report shark teeth. Because
what is
there's so many of them.
reason for the report? I mean, is somebody going to claim it?
No, it's very rare. I mean, it's possible that
very rare.
Yeah, it's possible they could ask you to be like, hey, if you want to donate it. Like they've definitely asked stuff. Usually when they ask, I'll donate stuff because they can learn a lot from it. But no, for the most part, they're not going to take anything from you. It's just for them to kind of keep track of what's being found, just in case there's like an important site or something. People come across like mammoth and mastodon kill sites where like Native Americans were killing mammoths and mastodons and stuff, and those are like scientifically significant. So they would want to know about stuff like that.
Right.
Is it kind of like panning for gold? I mean, is that how you?
It's similar, yeah.
Or you just little shovels, spades, and I mean, you're in water while you're doing it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're in water, you have a sifter, so we'll build them ourselves a lot of the times, and you get that metal mesh in the bottom, it's just like a wooden box or whatever. You just throw the dirt in there, and then you sift it out, and all the sand falls down and leaves all the rocks exposed, so you can just look through the rocks and stuff for fossils and whatnot. It's fun.
Did you self-educate yourself on all this stuff?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I never went to school or anything for it. Just kind of read a lot of books and watched a lot of videos and did a lot of research.
Which came first? Did you just say, I'm just going to go try to find some stuff and then start figuring it out?
Kind of. It's kind of hard to say because like what really got me into it was my dad and grandpa would take me looking for arrowheads when I was real little, and they would like take me looking in farm fields and stuff like that. And I was young at the time, like really young. I have like pictures from a long time ago with me and my dad. I'm just a tiny guy, and we're somewhere looking for fossils and stuff. So I've always done it. It's always been a thing, and.
Shark teeth on the beach was about the closest I ever came. I'm very interested in it, though.
Hey, we'll take you down, man.
Yeah,
Come
I'd like
down
to
to Florida.
take me and my son down there and let you take us out.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
You would enjoy it, I think. There's a lot of cool history. And yeah, prehistory, and then, real old stuff, and then the more modern history, and finding the bottles and stuff like that, antique bottles and old medicines and whiskeys. That stuff's real fun, too.
When you find a gun or something, you have to call the law.
Yeah, I've never found a gun, though. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. But I have friends who, they do, and they call the law and stuff just to see, it could have been stolen, murder weapon, you don't know.
Or it could have belonged to a bespectacled bear.
There you go. Crazy bears running around, shoot people.
That's right. And what did you call them? Costas?
Costas, yeah. Costas. That's right. Yeah, this is everything all
There's
together.
the spectacled bear for you right there now. Cool.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Well, you want to take a little short break and we'll come back
Sure.
and finish her up?
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be right back.
Something in my blood starts to take a hold. Something in my bones start to lose control. Something in the water gonna make me whole. something in the water gonna set me free.
So, Kyle, how do you go about writing a song? Like, what inspires you? You said death, and
Sobered me right up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Death. It comes different every time.
right? I mean, it goes different for me too. I always want to ask that.
There's really no cut and dry thing, it seems like, and you and I were talking about this before all this, and it just it kind of happens when it happens, and
then it don't happen for a while.
sometimes it doesn't happen for a while.
I'm like, man, can I
Uncle Dave here had some interesting words on that, though, saying he doesn't believe in writer's block.
No. I've heard people talk about it, and fret over it and worry about it. I've got writer's block. And I said, well, sure you do. You worrying like crazy about it.
Right. Oh,
Don't worry about it. Just let it go.
Just let it happen.
I mean, the muse is going to visit you when she's ready, and when she does, you got to be ready.
Yeah.
That's right.
Those are the better ones too, right? You don't write a good song when you sit there and force it out of you real much. You gotta kind of let it happen and let it
I
flow.
know there's a lot of people in Nashville and the music centers and everything that punch a clock and sit down and write.
They do.
Which is,
Yeah.
I think
which
they have
is good.
I think the more you try to write, the better you're going to be at it. But still, you can't force.
I think there's kind of a formula to what they're doing though, because they're trying to make something that's going to sell.
Right.
They know what people want to hear. They know they've got the thing.
They can only use these 10 words.
Exactly. There's a very limited
Tailgate.
vocabulary. Tailgate,
Daisy
cold beer.
Dukes and cold beer.
and then we're going to rap about Johnny Cash in the middle.
Rap about Johnny Cash. Yeah, those ones are pretty good. Talking about growing up with Waylon and Willie and Johnny Cash, and it's like
While
this
you're
very
rapping?
strange rap beat. Very interesting, yeah. You're surely influenced by a lot of Johnny Cash, my friend. That's great.
Why don't you play us a song, Dave?
Yeah, man.
All right.
You need a guitar?
I
Got one
do.
right here.
I got you one.
Another Martin. I like Martins.
It's a nice guitar. Actually, most of my record was
Recorded.
done on that one.
I love that guitar.
It's a good guitar.
Justin's. I think you still got the same strings on that thing since I've known you.
Yeah. They sound good too.
Yeah, if it works.
And I'm a guy who goes through strings like every show. They still tune.
Well, I don't play it a whole bunch. Save it for people like Kyle.
Yeah.
It's a studio guitar.
So what's this song, Dave? You got a story behind how you came up with this one?
This song was kind of like social commentary a little bit, but more like universal love, It's kind of like breaks it right down to the basic, we've all got goodness inside us. We need to let that show a little more, let it shine a little more. This is, let's see, Carrie Dawn, Justin's fiance, Justin Mercer's fiance there. He said, put a ring on his fiance because
Put a ring on it.
it was told to him by Beyonce that he had to do that, so he did it. And carried on, so this is dedicated to Carrie Dawn. It's called Let It Shine. We are blood, spit, and bone. From the moment we are born to a world that keep on spinning around. And we learn to cuss and hate, draw the line and separate, to till they lay our wrinkled body in the ground. There's a light up above, a light called love, and it burns in our heart and our soul. Every father, every son, mothers, daughters, everyone, let it shine, let it shine. We are darkness, we are light, we are day and we are night. We ain't nothing if we can't live as one. We are black, we are white, we are wrong and we are right. Ain't no peace inside the barrel of a gun. There's a light up above, a light called love, and it burns in our hearts and our soul. Every father, every son, mothers, daughters, everyone, let it shine. While you're breathing in the air, take a little time to care. Wrap your head around some goodness and peace. For the time that we are here, lose the anger, lose the fear. Shine your light until it's all that we see. There's a light up above, a light called love, and it burns in our hearts and our soul. Every father, every son, mothers, daughters, everyone, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Let it shine.
Yeah, on our first episode, we were talking about that song, and we all got the name wrong. And we were all saying it was Shine a Light. But it's actually...
My favorite line was, "There's no peace in the barrel of a gun."
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm sure that'll upset some people, but it is what it is. I mean, this was I wrote this right after that Orlando nightclub shooting. That's when that kind of came out. It was, to quote Wayne, what's his name out in California? Why can't we all just get along?
That was
Guy that was
Rodney King.
Rodney King, and pulled out of his truck, in the middle of all that craziness out there,
That was a sad night.
It was. Anytime anything like that happens, it's just like you got to just shake your head,
Yep.
What the hell? Well, you got another one for us?
I do.
All right.
Gotta throw this one on for,
Yeah.
put a little harp on for it.
All right.
He got a lip whistle. That's what they called it over there. Bodine and the Poachers on the radio show we did
yeah.
over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Lip whistle.
So he plays the lip whistle.
The lip whistle. I like that. This is the one that I wrote for my grandmother. It's my grandmother, Angie. Her and my grandfather, Leonard, were married for 50 years when he passed away 11 years ago. And this last November would have been their 62nd wedding anniversary. So I kind of wrote this song trying to make sense of what my grandmother was going through. And I've not experienced such a loss, but so this is my best attempt at it. And I haven't played it for her yet. She lives all the way up in Michigan. I told my mom next time she sees her, show her the song, the recording I sent her of it. So we'll see how that goes. But I didn't want to make her real sad. But I asked my mom about it. I was like, well, look, what do you think? Like, I was like, I really want her to hear this song, but I don't want her to be just like crushed by it, you know. And she said, I think it would make her sad, but I think that she would be proud to know that you wrote it for her and stuff.
Absolutely.
And so I was like, well, next time you see her, just in case, you know, I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna make it up there again. So I was like, just show her next time, show her the video. So this one's called Why Would God Steal? Used to run my fingers down all the lines upon your face, a reminder of tomorrow, a reminder of the grave. Took the clocks off of the wall, ripped the calendar to shreds, watched the sunrise in the morning, hear you take your last breath. And sometimes when I wake up, I forget that you were gone. 50 years felt like nothing, now time is dragging on. They say it happens for a reason, well, I say that they're all wrong. Why would God steal the one reason I've been breathing all along? Remember apple trees we'd grow in the spring after the snow. The grandkids would come around and help us pick 'em off the ground. Now you're gone, they moved away. The apples ripe, the skies turn gray. How I miss those better times, how I miss those sunny skies. I still make 2 cups of coffee, but one always goes to waste. It used to be my favorite thing, and now I just can't stand the taste. They say it happens for a reason, what a heartless thing to say. Why would God steal the one reason I had to wake up every day? Used to run my fingers down all the lines upon your face, a reminder of tomorrow, a reminder of the grave. Took the clocks off of the wall, ripped the calendar to shreds, watched the sunrise in the morning, hear you take your last breath. And sometimes when I wake up, I forget that you were gone. 50 years felt like nothing, now time is dragging on. They say it happens for a reason, well, Well, I say that they're all wrong. Why would God steal the one reason I've been breathing all along? Why would God steal the one reason I've been breathing all along?
That's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, I think she's going to be proud.
I hope so.
It's a good song.
I don't think she'd be sad. I think she'd be mighty proud.
That's what I hope. I don't know.
A lot of nice imagery in there.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's that second verse about the apple trees is all like
Yeah.
100% accurate. We used to go over there and pick apples off the ground and off the trees and make cider and stuff in the barn there. And she had a little machine that you could throw the apples in and like press it all, and it would all juice into this thing, and it would catch all the pulp and stuff in a little net, so you didn't get it all in there. And then we'd like jug it up and just have it to drink and stuff. It was always super cool. And yeah, since then the trees just kind of, that she stopped taking care of them, so they're not there now.
Strong.
It is
Stuff.
heavy. Yeah. Good stuff.
Sitting there thinking, if I played a song, what would it be? But after those two amazing songs,
Pick it up.
I was trying to think, to stay in the same vein, but this is a song that it kind of ended up being about something different than I actually wrote it about.
Nice.
I wrote it about being homesick and staying up in Nashville, Tennessee, trying to do the music thing and giving it a go and going around and playing and
Yeah.
and I was away from my son and family and girlfriend at the time, and just was like, what am I doing up here? I wasn't getting anywhere. So I wrote this song about this, but later down the road it kind of became, which I didn't see, that the way the imagery played out, it seems like somebody's died and passed on kind of thing. But so I thought that was kind of cool. I ended up having to play it at my younger cousin's funeral, which was kind of hard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but, he got in a car accident. But it's called No Home for Me Now. It's like, let me back up from this thing a little bit.
You good?
All right. I thought you said you could. I'm packing my bags, I ain't saying no goodbyes, fixing my eyes where the road meets the sky. Don't know where I'll go, but I know I ain't been there. No, this ain't no home for me now. I've seen the signs out there on the roadside, leading my mind down a lost highway, farther along the road. Well, I know I will be fine. No, this ain't no home for me now.
my bags. I ain't saying no goodbyes. Fixing my eyes where the road meets the sky. Don't know where I'll go, but I know I ain't been there. No, this ain't no home for me now. No, this ain't no home for me now.
I've heard that tune before,
Yeah.
but I liked hearing it in this setting.
I skipped the solo because there wasn't going to be one.
Yeah, that's the reason why he's a king of the troubadours. That song right there.
Yeah,
Shoot.
I'm telling you, man, that's,
How about that?
that is deep
It
rooted right there. That comes pure and
That riff came out of I wrote the music first, and I was driving on those country roads in Leapers Fork, Tennessee, and I got pulled over for having they were behind me, following me, for having the brights on a country road. They said I couldn't have my brights on.
whoa.
Really?
And they pulled me over, and they had the flashlights, both two of them, like, and just really shook me up. You know,
You ain't from here, are you, boy?
they really were giving me a hard time, but and I was already like having a bad day with just being up there and nothing working.
Yeah.
And I went to my destination where I was staying, and there was a Telecaster and a guitar amp, and I just first thing that come out was that riff, and then the next day I wrote the words to it.
I love how it's really simple, but you sing over top of it, and I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I couldn't do that. Like, I feel like I would lose track trying to, like, sing over top of playing that.
Yeah, that's something else he's good at. Yeah. All them, a lot of songs you write has movement in them. A lot of movement on the guitar side of it, you know.
Yeah.
Which is, I always had trouble with that. That's why
I have trouble with that.
I started off playing bass in the beginning, you know, and that's like single notes, but it's like boom, you're constantly, you know, fingering and moving and everything. And when I tried to sing and do that at the same time, it was like,
Forget about it. Yeah.
that's what drove me to learn how to just play
strumming?
chords, you know, rhythm. That's simple enough.
Well, I mean, that's the first thing I learned, and then I wanted to be a badass lead guitar player, and I never could do it, you know. But I had long fingers, especially when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So I would come up with crazy chords, and I was like, I'll do something these guys can't do, you know. And I think that's when I started coming up with that kind of stuff.
I never really gave much of an attempt to doing lead. I've just never really had a reason to, I guess. I always get somebody else on, like have a friend, hey, come on, man, come play some lead. I'll play the simple part.
I think it's two different types of musicians, you know. 'Cause I've never been able to pick that stuff up that great.
I never understood it. I just can't. I mean, people, the great lead guitar players, they just look at it and they see it. You know, it's like my cousin, the car mechanic. He can look at it and see it. You know, the entire thing, tear it down and put it back together again.
Yeah.
Like that. You know, and for some reason I just was not given that. You know, there is certain thing that you look at on the guitar neck and it's clear as a bell to some folks, and it's like mud to me. You know, so I just set out. I knew I couldn't do that lead guitars, and there's many of them that can. So I just set out to become a really good rhythm guitar player. That was my goal.
Like Tom Petty said one time, he's like, I think I'm the last rhythm guitar player.
The last rhythm guitar player. So, yeah, I figured, I was like, well, when I realized I wasn't going to be good at lead guitar, I was like, well, I'm just going to try hard to write really good words.
Well, that finger pickings is something that not a lot of folks
The
can
finger
do.
pick, yeah.
Yeah, you got
Especially
that going
while
on.
singing.
Pretty technical. Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
you can mess it up easy.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's true. I feel just like I said earlier, like I'm so much more sloppy when I have a pick and I'm trying
Me
to.
too.
I'm so sloppy,
it
man.
feels foreign.
Yeah.
And you know, I never took any structured lessons. They teach you, though, in beginning guitar to hold your pick right there in between your thumb and your forefinger. I always grab it like that.
Me, that's how I grab it, yeah.
And it's like clumsy and.
I grab it like that.
But I'm holding on.
Maybe that's what you guys' problem is.
Yeah, I think it is.
That's right.
You following the
It
following the rules.
just don't feel right, but
Yeah, I never had lessons either. I just kind of threw myself into it. Some friends showed me some stuff, and then I just kind of went on my way.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah, I think I took 3 months of chords, and I said, okay. And during that time, met everybody else that was playing at the music store, and said, I'll just hang out with you guys and learn for free.
Yeah, for real. It's fun too when you first start out, just sitting there playing around, messing with it. I'm pretty sure the first time I ever picked up a guitar, I thought that you pressed right down on the little
fret.
On the fret.
I was like, what? It was wild.
Well, we've really enjoyed having you here tonight.
It's been
buddy.
great, man.
Kyle Keller.
Absolutely.
Damn.
Appreciate it. This is my first time meeting Uncle Dave Griffin in person.
Yeah, likewise,
Isn't that wild?
man. It's great.
It's been great.
Beautiful
It's
to
been
meet you.
absolutely
and,
as well.
Continued
I hope,
success out there on the road
appreciate it.
and songwriting and fossil digging and.
Yeah.
Definitely. I hope we cross paths many more times, man.
Come on back
we will.
anytime, man.
I think we will.
Come back when you're recording again.
Yeah,
We'll do
absolutely.
another one.
Yeah. This guy and I are going to start working on another one here soon after we get this one out, and a bunch of new songs about death and stuff. So be ready.
Good stuff. Happy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, folks, it's time once again for the Uncle Dave Griffin Tale of the Week.
Yeah, you had to think
And,
about it when you wrote the book. What's the name of my book?
Yeah. This one is entitled "From the Halls of Montezuma to the Shores of Albany."
Sure.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli are the first 2 lines of the Marine Corps hymn, introduced by Francesco Maria Scala, the first director of the United States Marine Corps Band. Adapting the song to my own personal history, living in Tripoli, Libya with my Air Force family from 1958 to 60, then moving to the B&S Trailer Park in Albany, Georgia, where Daddy was stationed for the next 4 years. The lyrics could have read, "From the halls of Tripoli to the shores of Albany." Richard Shore was a lifetime Marine serving in World War II, China, Korea, and doing 2 tours in Vietnam. While stationed at Parris Island, South Carolina, he met his future wife and fellow Marine, Theodora Eaton of Ogunquit, Maine. The Shores moved into the trailer next door to us in 1963, bringing with them a brood of 3 kids, Brian, Brenda, and Triss, and Mr. Dick's pipes and Sale cherry-flavored pipe tobacco. We got along famously. Brian was my age, and as far as I know, he still is. Brenda was a couple years younger, and Triss was 5 years younger. The Shores, Dick and Teddy and kids, and our family became lifelong friends. My older brother Gary and I watched the United States debut of the Beatles next door at the Shores trailer. They had CBS and the Ed Sullivan Show. We had NBC and Disney's Wonderful World of Color, which still showed up black and white on our 1964 television set. So enthralled were we with the 4 mop tops from England that Brian, Triss, Gary, and I built homemade guitars out of plywood and clothesline wire, then stood beneath the trailer park streetlights serenading the neighbors, one of whom I was enamored with, Donna Ream, a skinny, dark-haired brunette with a cute overbite. B&S Trailer Park housed mobile homes on 2 sides, with a dirt road entrance that went all the way to the back, looped and carried down the other side till you were back where you started. Between the roads was a grass median filled with Albany pecan trees and Albany sand spurs, both equally famous. Behind the 24 or so trailers on our side of the park was a field of weeds. Behind those on the Donna Ream side was a small patch of pines, perfect for 10-year-old Army maneuvers. The Shore and Griffin boys built up some handsome fortifications. Basically, it was a couple of foxholes dug in the ground, then camouflaged with throwaway boards and pine branches. We were mighty proud of them. One winter evening, just after supper, Triss and I were tweaking our military holes in the ground when the Wardlaw brothers, Jimmy and Randy, and a gang of 4 more from the other side of the trailer park made their way toward our precious turf. I don't know if it was because the Cuban Missile Crisis was still fresh in our minds or if it's just a male species thing, but it was on. Young Triss and I were outnumbered from the start, but we boldly took up position behind a slab of tin and picked up every rock and brick missile they hurled at us, hurling them right back. Knowing we couldn't hold them off for long, I made a battlefield decision and told Triss to run back to the trailer for reinforcements. Get Brian and Gary. He trotted back a minute later and said, "They're watching TV." "Watching TV? Hell, Huckleberry Hound can wait. We're under attack. Tell them I said they got to come now." So off he ran like a scalded rabbit, and minutes later, Brother Gary was by our side, making the battle a little more even-sided. I'll never forget the rock striking Gary on his forehead. With tears of anger welling up in his eyes, he coolly bent down and picked up a jagged shard of asbestos siding and frisbeed it through the air. It sliced into the chest of one of our unwelcome trespassers. The tide began to turn as we pressed forward, forcing them into a panicked retreat and chasing them down to the rear of the trailer park where they were attempting to make a last-ditch stand. It was down to hand-to-hand combat, brothers against brothers. Gary was wearing out Jimmy Wardlaw's face when his little brother Randy jumped on Gary's back, clawing and slapping. I yanked him off, turned and saw another member of the Wardlaw gang stab the barrel of an air gun into the ground, raise it to his shoulder to fire a lethal clod of Albany dirt when, cue the cavalry bugles, long-legged Brian Shore leapt across a fence and tore the weapon from his hands. The would-be adversaries did a hasty walk of shame back from whence they came. Our war was over. We had prevailed. A few months later, Daddy was sent to a real war in Vietnam for a year, and our family packed up the pink house trailer and moved back to Waycross, leaving B&S Trailer Park, the Shores, and the foxholes in Albany. The two families never lost touch with one another. Backyard cookouts in Waycross, birthday celebrations, and beach trip kept us close. The Shores finally relocated to Merritt Island, Florida, where Brian and Triss learned to surf, and Brenda married a surfer and raised surfer babies. In the summer of 1987, Mama and Miss Teddy flew Piedmont Airlines for a week-long visit to Miss Teddy's home in Maine. Those two women really loved each other. Mama passed away in December of 1994, way too soon. And Brian Shore, pastor at Hope Church Jacks in Jacksonville, Florida, delivered a beautiful eulogy at her funeral. Mr. Dick Shore left a big hole in this world in 2002. On April 14th, 2018, members of the Griffin and Shore families got together for a long-awaited reunion in Waycross. Time passed slowly with every memorable story as the years slipped away, leaving me with a smile in my heart, the aromatic memory of cherry-flavored pipe tobacco, the sound of the Beatles echoing in my head, and the friendly warmth of a foxhole under a blanket of pine needles on a winter's day in Albany, Georgia.
All right.
Folks, we appreciate y'all tuning in and watching our podcast. Be sure you like and share.
Rate and
Subscribe.
Yeah, rate, subscribe, review.
All the things.
do your thing.
See y'all next time.
When the cold black water finds its way across through your veins, it just might seal your fate. just mine.